We're going to talk about a few things. Hey, everybody. It's the DM. Thank y'all for sliding into my DM, to the Divine Melanation. And what I wanted to do today is I kind of wanted to tap into the last episode. It was an hour long. So, of course, it was a couple of things that I know people didn't didn't really get the full to or whatever. But I kind of wanted to go more in depth. Like, can you bring my drink right here, please? And I'm starting something new. I'm trying to see what my format is, see what is good for me, what's not good for me, what works for me, what doesn't work for me, what I like, what my audience likes, what y'all don't like. And so we're going to sit on here and we're going to talk about a couple of things, guys, from the show. So let's see. If I can share screen. Let's see if it'll let me share my screen. I just want to can't do that. I'm going to share entire screen. We're just going to do that. And so we're going to remove that. I don't like that. Shift 7. What does that do? Okay. We're going to stop sharing because y'all, I need more work. I need more people. I need more work. We're trying to figure this out. Hey, so we're going to go, and I guess I'll just kind of fill y'all in with, I guess y'all can hear it on my phone or whatnot. So that's what we'll do. Because it was a couple of clips, and it really doesn't matter what order we go in. I kind of wanted to just talk to y'all about, some of the clips and go into more details about those clips so that y'all have more understanding, overstanding, and understanding for what I was talking about. So the first podcast was called, episode 1 was called In the Beginning, where I talked mostly about the podcast, the direction, the audience, and we highlighted, I was on there with my sister Tay, so we highlighted mental health awareness, because when I filmed that, it was during Mental Health Awareness Month, which would have been May, I believe. So I want to go ahead and talk to you right now about some more stuff. Okay, I want to go into detail about this podcast that I'm cultivating and the plans for it. But I think I'm gonna, because I've already pre-recorded a few, 3 or 4. So I think in between those new episodes, I want to go in and dissect the ones that I've already made so that y'all can really get the full view of what the Divine Melanation is for me and what I'm trying to achieve with this podcast, because it's very special to me. We're highlighting sisterhood, and we're highlighting tools and intentions that we use to manifest our goals, to reach our optimum potential. Okay. So we're gonna go to one. Don't try to put it all on womanhood. It just looks different. And I don't try to put it all on just being a woman, but just to be a Black woman is something that is heavy. We're taught to just be strong. That is like the most weirdest shit somebody could have told me. Be a strong Black woman. I don't listen. Since I've been on my weak Black woman shit, and y'all can take it how you may, I have been so healthy, okay? Because I need help. I'm okay with saying I need help. Okay, so that's going to be the first clip we talk about. This 2 weeks ago, I went to a sisterhood investment group conference. And it was so crazy because like I told y'all, I did this in May. So it was so crazy because the keynote speaker was a doctor from New York. And she talked about trauma in womanhood. And so I want to share with y'all that. And then I will plug her as well. As soon as I get her information from one of my sisters, I will plug her. But I really want y'all to listen to what she had to say about just womanhood and what it means and how it affects us when we say we want to be these strong Black women, because sometimes being a strong Black woman doesn't serve us like we think that it is and that it should, right? So I just want y'all to listen to this. Because I'm going to talk about that strong Black woman persona. How many of y'all think y'all are strong Black women? Yes. Can I have that tablet right there? Appreciate it. No, hold on. No, this is not what we're going to do, y'all. Let me tell y'all what we're going to do. I'm not fit to do no hood ass shit. Y'all finna blaze my cigarette because my nerves is bad. Y'all smoke cigarettes. That's what we're going to let them people know. And if you don't, ladies, do the cigarettes. That's fine. Don't judge. But we can figure this out. Oh, live. Because tonight, this is a learning experience for me, y'all. So I also want it to be a learning experience for everybody else too. I want it to be where everybody can okay. Yeah, I'm doing this like out the mud. Y'all, we getting this out the freaking mud. You hear me? If I got everything else out the mud, why not get this out the mud? You know? Let's see. I thought I maybe was gonna have a show. Oh. So let me see. And I really don't think I want this banner to be blue, but we'll fix that the next time. I don't know. I guess I'll get on here and have to play with it. Y'all see a whole bunch of live stuff that I'll delete. I don't know. So yeah, I wanted to picture layout. Let's do shift 7. Yeah, I don't really know how to do this. Solo layout. No, I want to see. Exit solo layout. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I'm really slides. I have no slides on my computer. I don't have any slides. I'm gonna try to share my screen. Okay, there we go. There we go. We'll go here. We'll share this. Okay. So now that we're sharing, and I don't know where I went, but I wanted to share something with y'all. That really meant a lot to me. And listening to these women.
That strong Black woman persona. How many of y'all think y'all are strong Black women? Can I have that title right there? So according to the dictionary, Webster's dictionary, there are 16 definitions of strong. So since y'all think y'all strong, let me know if this sounds familiar. Having marked with great physical power, having moral or intellectual character, having great resources of wealth, a specific number, power numbers, striking, superior in its kind, effective, especially in a specific direction, forceful, not mild or weak. Because I'm going to talk about that strong, not easily upset or nauseated, having an offensive odor or rank, tending toward steady or higher. Does that sound like y'all? No? As a mental health professional, so I'm going to give you a little bit about my background. I'm a trauma therapist. I specifically focus on women in trauma. And the reason why I'm challenging you in terms of the Black women persona, strong Black women persona, is because that persona is detrimental to your mental health. Often Black women are seen as indestructible, invincible, but we're not. And that persona has led to so many problems. How many of y'all, I pray, I hustle, and there's nothing wrong with that mentality. But selflessness is a liability. You can be selfish about your mental health. See, Black women are twice as likely to suffer from depression than Black men, but only half of you will go and seek help. That strong Black women persona is the reason why Black women die more often in childbirth. Because they don't believe our pain is real. It's the reason why when you walk into an ER and they ask you, rate your pain on a scale of 1 to 10, and you say a 10, and the doctor looks at you like, but you're talking. But that's my perception of my pain. I'm at a 10, and I need you to believe me. And the reason why I want you to change your perception of strength. I wrote a couple things down, but I want y'all to understand the why. The superwoman schema, 1, makes us personify strength that we don't have. It makes society and Black men see us as if our pain is not real. Detrimental. We suppress our emotions. And I know you've heard some women up here that have that, if not me, who else? If not now, then when mentality. I'll just do it myself. So you push it down. They resist being vulnerable. I don't have time to be weak. And the reason our drive to succeed with limited resources. Because Mama makes miracles every Thanksgiving, right? Yeah. Because we got to make $1 out of 15 cents. Dangerous. Constantly helping others. Because you want to help everybody else put their mask on until you pass out. Dangerous. So what I'm challenging you all to do today, right now, lean into being uncomfortable about your feelings. Feel whatever it is that you are feeling. If you are not feeling good, say, I don't feel good today. Set your boundaries. Today is not the day. Lean into being uncomfortable. What is going on with you here? Before I go into some deep reading with y'all, is to understand the mind and body connection. If you don't feel good up here, you're not going to feel good here. Go to your doctors. Have your levels checked. Some of you don't even understand that Black women especially have low vitamin D levels, and your low vitamin D is connected to your mental health. Get your vitamin D levels checked.
Yeah, it's true.
Your doctor's not going to do it automatically. Advocate for your health. So what I want y'all to do before we all get up and kumbaya is all out of the door, I want y'all to stand up.
Okay, so I want to share that with y'all because that was powerful to me. Because if y'all didn't know, like, I have been on this, I'm not being a strong Black woman no more. I'm not. That doesn't mean I'm weak though. Just because I'm not strong doesn't mean I'm not weak. I place myself in intentional places so that I can get intentional outcomes, because everything that I think of now as a human being, like now in this phase of womanhood, is intentional. And anything that isn't of me and for me, I don't give a fuck. I just don't. Because it's no right or wrong to do this thing called life, right? But if you use your resources, your heart is, as light as a feather. You have a support system. You're accountable with your acknowledgement of yourself. Those are the things that count. Those are the things that persevere. Those are the things that keep you going to another level. So I wanted to break down that podcast because I felt that it was so many different gems that I hit on just in the beginning, and so many vulnerable places that I wanted to go but just didn't have time. So let's go back and let's go look at the last the last podcast, or the last clip that I did. I want to do that with you guys because we got time, right? Y'all got time? Put ones in the chat if y'all got time. If y'all got time, when we put ones in the chat, it ain't nothing. It don't take nothing, Let's see. Okay, so share screen. Y'all, this is new to me. Don't be tripping with me. Okay. So here we go. Womanhood, it just looks different, and I don't try to put it all on just being a woman, but just to be a Black woman is something that is heavy. We're taught to just be strong. That is like the most weirdest shit somebody could have told me. Be a strong Black woman. I don't listen. Since I've been on my weak Black woman shit, and y'all can take it how you may, I have been so healthy. Okay. I need help. I'm okay with saying I need help. Okay. So that's where that came from. So I wanted y'all to know, like, see the contrast of what was going on. Like, I am, Babu, they know you here. The people know. Love you. Yeah, that's Chris, y'all. Chris is going to work while I do something for our bloodline, our lineage, right, baby? Yeah. I love you. Be careful. Okay, anyways. I don't mind. Say, listen, I'm really from outside in the streets, and like, try me if you want to. Try me if you want to. That's all I'm saying. It's not no threat or nothing like that. It's just like we feel different. You know what I'm saying? Like, so me showing him doesn't mean me shit. And it shouldn't mean you shit. And the people that I want to attract to me, who he is, doesn't mean them anything because we concentrating on our sisterhood and our womanhood. So that was one that I was, what I just let y'all listen to or whatever. I felt that was a big confirmation for myself because I really, really, really sometimes being strong for me comes with chaos. I don't know what it comes with everybody else, but I know that being strong for me comes with a lot of chaos. It comes with a lot of places that I don't like being. So meeting Chris, I was able to come. Can y'all see me real quick? And sit in my femininity. You know what I'm saying? I actually got to sit in my femininity, y'all, for the first time in relationships. I got to sit and being a woman. I didn't have to boss up. I didn't have to show that nigga shit. I didn't have to prove myself. I didn't have to prove my worth. I had to do none of that but be myself. And he was like, hey, I want to take care of you for the rest of your life. What? So I'm here, because I want all my sisters to have that. But it come with a lot of healing, y'all. See, these conversations is shit I've been crying over the last 7 years. The shit that we talking about right now, I've been crying over the last 7 years. Since I was 31. 30 and 31, I was a crybaby. I was crying. The world wasn't fair. I could not believe this shit. So now I'm in a different phase, and I feel that I want everybody to know that this isn't like, it ain't easy. It's not easy. You got to get out there and you got to want it just as much as you want to breathe. Okay, so let me go back. Let me see. After I left San Antonio, like, people don't understand when I left San Antonio, I'm left fighting for my life. Mm-hmm. Like when I say fighting for my life, like I'm talking about I'm finna commit suicide and I'm waking up. Like, I'm like, whoa, what the hell? Like, I wasn't supposed to wake up. So I got an attitude. Because I didn't woke up type shit. You know what I'm saying? So and then it was like that final time with y'all keep tuning into the podcast. Okay, so that was a really, really vulnerable place for me, guys. I don't know how everyone feels about acknowledging those places of suicide. And I don't know if everyone has suicidal thoughts. Like, I'm not a doctor, and I'm not here to diagnose shit, like, when it comes to that. But I know for me, being just not wanting to be on this planet was frequent for me. And this is the first time I'm saying that shit out my mouth. Being a human being on this planet in this life cycle was starting to be a bit much for me, and I didn't like it. Let me see. In my first marriage, before marriage, I never attempted suicide. I just dealt with everything. After marriage, my first marriage, I think I attempted suicide. Probably 2 times. 2 times. I attempted suicide twice. And the reason I didn't, okay, so the reason it wasn't a third is because that nigga was like, girl, what are you doing? Like, you just finna, like, that's what you finna do? That's stupid. Like, you dumb, girl. Like, it was no help, but it was like, what the fuck you finna do? Like, girl, I'm fit to go back about here because you stupid. That's crazy. You finna kill yourself? And I'm like, yes, I'm hurting, but I didn't know how to say it so that he could receive it when I was saying it, because I really needed help, guys. I really needed, I needed help, and I didn't know how to ask for it. So it came out in different ways: anger, snub nosy-ish. You know what I'm saying? Thinking I'm better than everybody. I know some of y'all already knew, but some of y'all I know are the same way, but I ain't gonna say that. But that's all right. This ain't your journey. My second marriage, y'all, wanting to commit suicide was something that was a occurrence a lot. He was somebody that and we'll just end it out with this. He was somebody that I met in 2003. Because I got to get this off me. I just, something is telling me, girl, just get this off you. Get this off you. So I met him in 2003. I actually met him before my first husband. The first fight I had over a man. Well, the first fight I had over a male, which was a man, was him. We had fun. He was funny. He was popular. I was naive. I didn't love myself. I was around people that didn't really pour into me, and I did my light a lot. My 20s. I had moved to the hood. If anybody familiar with Spring Hill in San Antonio, I had moved to Spring Hill. And I knew some people there, but I didn't know a lot of people. And in some places I felt alone, you know. I felt, because a lot of the people that I hang with are related. So I felt alone a lot, and I felt like I had to validate. I needed their validation to push me to where I needed to go. And that was just like totally not the shit to do. Okay? No, you never look for anyone's validation outside of yourself, because no one can love you the way that you do. So I became friends with women living out there, and it was cool. I don't talk to a lot of them no more. Not because we beefing or we into it. It's just we all got our, doing our own thing. I talked to a couple of the women, some of my older friends that are still in my life pretty heavy. But with him, he was my friend. That was the first time, like, I never felt like, because I didn't know how to be with no boy. I always, like, I've been married twice, and this will be my third marriage. So I was always taught to be married, but not to be a wife. And to be honest, I really wasn't very comfortable with men. I just knew what to do, So with him, I loved him so much. He went to prison. I had one baby then when he went to prison. He went out to prison. And one thing that he told me that always stuck with me, and I remembered it, he was like, don't have another baby, because you don't need another baby. Another baby is going to be so hard for you, Simone. He told me that. And I was like, dang. So you know how they doing, you be down for them a little bit, then, you find a little new thing. So I ended up getting pregnant again. And I always remember that he saw me with my baby, and he was like, you good. He was like, it happened all the time, but you made for this. So he always was pouring into me, and pouring into me is what I've never had from a male. Like my grandpa was quiet. He didn't talk. I know he loved me though, but he was quiet. My daddy, like I'm still working that out right now. Like that right now is still like wows me. Like I don't even like I can't even talk to y'all about that relationship because I'm still trying to figure that shit out. So in this relationship, he gave me something, a companionship that I never had before. And y'all, these are only my perspectives. That's all I can give y'all. I think the last time I tried to commit suicide, and I'm gonna leave it there because I still got a lot to fill in and get my mind. This is for me and for you. I'm healing for myself so that other people can hear me talk and they can heal too. Because I know what I'm going through I ain't by myself. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm just gonna talk about this shit though. So the last time I tried to kill myself, he had moved out of the house. He was living with his brother. And he had a baby on me. Actually, he had got 3 women pregnant. I went to prison. It's a whole nother story. We'll talk about that too. And the women were younger than me. And I remember this one time, this is the time that it happened. He was living with his brother, and we had spent the whole day together. Him and the baby, y'all, the newborn. We spent the shit together, whatever, the day, while the baby mama was at work. Because my kids were in school too. And so by the time she came to get her baby, I had to go home to go tend to my children. So he was like, I think it was he had a headache or something. He was kind of dehydrated. So he dropped off the baby. I went in what I did. I think I took my kids, my mom, went back to his house with him, laid down with him. I think he was kind of sick because he was dehydrated. But it was his son's birthday, so he had to go to his son's birthday party. And I remember him in the shower and his phone ringing. And I'm nosy as hell. You heard? So I went and was listening by the door. And he was like, what you mean? That's my wife. That's my wife. She gonna be here. Like, he was saying that to her. And then I remember him saying, like, because she wanted to come and bring the baby back. I don't know, some kind of game. Yeah, I wasn't even in the conversation. I don't know, but it was a whole bunch of back and forth shit. And it was so crazy to me because I didn't go back and forth with him. And he was my husband. And I didn't go back and forth with him. And to hear him tolerate, because that was one of his big things. So to hear him tolerate, go back and forth with another woman was very damaging and hurting to me. That should hurt my feelings. And so then at that time, I felt like, okay, he gonna get her in her place. You know, he gonna do what she needs to do to protect my peace. Because he got a baby, I want you to be a good daddy. She knock on the door. She knock on the door with the baby. And she bring the baby. And I was like, y'all was like flabbergasted. It was like a filibuster. I was like, what the fuck, nigga? And she's like talking shit. I'm talking shit. And then like he get mad. She leave the baby there and shit. And then he was like, he mad at me because I made it worse because he really didn't want her to leave the baby. So me and him get into an argument. He was like, man, and I'm crying because I'm like, I cannot believe you. Like, it was just like he gave her, it was like she had leeway to feel that she was equal. Like, it was kind of like I was living in a polyamorous relationship that I did not agree to be in. Like, it was a lot, y'all. So eventually she left. And that night, I remember laying in the front of his air mattress because the nigga didn't have a bed, and on the carpet, and I was just crying, y'all. I was crying. His dad stayed next door. I went to his dad's house. I was crying, and they was like looking at me like, girl, you already know what time it is. You already know what you signed up for. Gone on with all that. It was like no empathy, no sympathy for nothing. It was like you grow the fuck up because you know that's the nigga you with, and you keep fucking with him, and you know he fucking girls. So then I went back to his house because by this time I'm calling him, and he's like, "I'm not coming back home. I don't care if you there. I'll go spend the night somewhere else." So I was just crushed, y'all. So I had got a blade because he had a blade laying down in this room. And I got a blade and I had just started like cutting down. That shit hurt. That shit hurt. And I stopped. And so then I took some pills. I just took like a whole bunch of pills. I think I had went and bought some shit off the street too. Like I had just got like a whole bunch of pills. And I was like, fuck this shit. This nigga gonna have to see me laid out on the floor at his house. And he would have to know he did this to me. Like I was that broken, y'all. I was that hurt. That fucked up. Right? Like I'm being dramatic to get attention, to get someone that's telling me that they don't want me to validate me. Right? So that's the hurt place. So then I take the pills and I wake up. Y'all, was like 2 hours later. I was so motherfucking mad. I was so motherfucking mad. I said, I'd never do this shit again. Fuck this nigga. I ain't finna do this shit with him no more. I'm not finna do this. So that was the last time I committed suicide because it was like this shit. I guess God want me to live for the rest of my life. And at the time I was still practicing Christianity. So I was like, I ain't doing it no more. I'm finna do it right. I'm finna do it right. And that kind of like, that was in October. I came to Dallas in December and I moved here in March. So those are the kind of series of events that have got me here. And I just wanted to kind of like, still on the theme of in the beginning. So that's a lot of the beginning of where this started. This started in the beginning. And I'm going to talk about a whole bunch of other things, but I want to encourage Black women to sometimes sit in your trauma. I had me and my daughter, I'm on Clubhouse. So one of my good friends on Clubhouse, he a DJ. So he'll open up a room and he'll DJ and shit. And so she was playing like SWV, Total, like 112. He's playing good shit. And my daughter is, y'all know my Violet is 19, 18. She was 17 at the time. I just graduated. And so we were talking and we just started talking. I just started weeping. I was just weeping. I was like, and it was a relief because I actually got to tell her like how I felt that I've never told anybody. It's like I had sucked all the energy that I had in me and didn't leave nothing for myself and gave it to everybody. So I was weeping and I got to give it to my lineage, my bloodline, my seed. And I planted that in fertile ground so that she understood and understands. So yeah, y'all, that's one of these little stories we gonna get, y'all. When it's just me telling y'all stories, it'll probably just be me or I'll drop somebody in. I'm working on this area in my house, making it my studio. So y'all just bear with me. I got a lot of merch coming. Follow me on all streaming platforms. I'm on Apple. I'm on Spotify. I'm on, of course, on YouTube, Google, and Samsung. So follow me on all those, because in a little bit, y'all, I'm not going to be streaming so much live from Facebook. So I'm going to need y'all to go Facebook and Anchor will be, and Spotify will be the places where you can see the visuals as well. So I want you guys to, I want you guys to kind of follow along and stick with me. I got merch coming by the end of the year. I'm finna do some traveling beginning of next year. Because next year is my year of 40. I'll be 38 in September 17th. And so there's one thing too. I've only had one birthday my whole life. Like I've never been celebrated. Like, and I threw that birthday. So I've never had a birthday before in my life, a birthday party. Like I had one at my house that I threw for myself one time, but most of the times I just infringe in other people's celebrations because I've never been celebrated. Like no one stopped and have ever said to me, like, let's celebrate you, what you want to do for your birthday. I don't think I've ever gotten it ever before in my life. And I'm learning just to be okay with celebrating me. And it's okay to celebrate because my child loves to celebrate herself. And I'll be like, sometimes I just want to be left alone. That'd be good enough for me. But let's leave each other with the affirmation, y'all. The affirmation of the last podcast. What got you here today won't get you to tomorrow. What got you here today is not going to get you to the next place you're supposed to be. The work that you have to put in to get here today is not going to be the work that's going to get you where you're going to go. So it's going to be constantly evolving, constantly changing. So I just want y'all to remember that and just keep it humble. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to try to do lives on Monday, Tuesday, for sure. I'm going to try to do it 2 to 3 times a week. Like Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. One of them. Today is Tuesday, so we'll see how it goes. I ain't doing shit else. I'm sitting in this house. It just depends on how I feel like getting dressed and what I got to talk. If I feel like wanting to talk, but for sure, the other podcasts, I haven't decided if I want them to come out every week or every 2 weeks until I get my situation together, because those are edited, produced, and produced. So. Yeah, I just want y'all to thank you and stay on this. Y'all, this is the beginning. This is out the mud. I said, fuck it, I'm finna just do it. Y'all should see the setup right now. It's crazy. But I know what it look like. I know what the setup gonna look like. So I just want to tell y'all that I appreciate you. Thank y'all for joining this journey. I want to thank my my sponsors, Chris, number 1, Kiki, Portia, Kim Cuts, Cinematic Bridge Builders Academy, and Sean 10K Cars. I want to thank y'all all for your motivation and your support. It takes a village. And we out of here, y'all. I like you. I love you. And I love you. And I like you. I like you. And I love you. Peace, guys.